What's up, everybody? Welcome to Prime Sports Media. I'm back at you. As I said before, I'll be doing these post-game live shows on this channel. Man, I'm going to tell you something. Just as Deion Sanders said in his press conference, this game taught you a lot about the resilience of this Colorado team. Last week, it was the offense. Okay, last week, Deion went for 510 yards and 4 TDs. This week, Deion puts up 393 yards, 2 TDs, and he also rushes in one at the goal line for a touchdown. And it looks like everyone is saying that Deion is going to be and is a Heisman Trophy candidate. Let's give a clap to that. Okay, so what it showed is that 1 week against TCU, the offense shows up. The defense was a little here and there, right? But this week, it was the defense that carried the offense at the most important times. I want to feature a few of the great players in this game. Let's talk about Xavier Weaver. He was sensational. That brother came out of, what is it, South Florida. He was one of those guys who transferred in the transfer portal. Once again, to the haters out there, do not check yourself before you wreck yourself. This is a team that has talent, and you're seeing it before your very eyes. This is a game that tests their sinew, their nerves, their will, and their power. Because sometimes in a football game, some things are not going to work, some things are going to work. And this time, an area of this team that everybody thought was going to be not that good, the naysayers out there saying that, they stepped up in a very big way, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, indeed. Let's get at it. Deion Sanders, yeah, he got sacked a few times. People would say that, Deion made a few little errors here and there. On the last play today where he took his helmet off, I didn't see the big deal in that. I really didn't. I didn't see how that was taunting anybody, but that's the rules. But he told his father, and his father, Coach Prime, had said that he did not, he didn't like him taking the helmet off, and he had to speak to him about that. And he said, but Dad, this situation between us in Nebraska is personal. It's personal. And so Deion did what he had to do. He said, look, it's personal. We went out there to ball out to play. And Deion said he liked the situation because he learned a lot about himself as a quarterback. He learned a lot about the team, that they are able to fight through adversity in a situation like this. The game was nick and tuck in the beginning, and you saw a lot of push-pull, push-pull. There are a lot of great players on this team who I'm going to talk about that stood out in the game, ladies and gentlemen, in the game this Saturday. I want to thank you all that are coming over, that are watching in the chat room. Thank you for being here, for supporting the channel, getting us up to, what are we at? We're at 16,000 subs right now, and looks like we'll be moving towards 17,000 subs with your support. Make sure you share this video on all your social media. If you're a content creator, share it in your community tab. I thank you for coming over. This is going to be a short stream today, but one that you'll get a lot of value out of because it was a hell of a game. It was nick and tough down the stretch until really much in the second half. It was obvious that Colorado was controlling this game. I got to give a lot of shout out to the defense. I mean, the defense stood strong at the right times. Although I really want to see this Colorado team run the ball. They didn't run the ball as much. Dylan Edwards didn't have the kind of game that he had a week ago. Sometimes some games will change the complexity of how you play, but he did make some plays. And I'm saying again, I really feel that once Coach Prime and his staff gets that running game really going on all cylinders, it's going to make it more easier for Deion Sanders to do what he needs to do, because when you appear to be one-dimensional, where it's just pass, then the defense can key off on the quarterback. So once they can get their running game on top of everything, it's going to make what Shedeur is already doing that much more easier for him. He's going to be that much more efficient, and it's really going to allow him to attack the defense, the secondaries in this division in college football, in this conference. He's going to be able to attack them even more when the running game is really employed that much more. I just want to emphasize that because one of the things that Nebraska did in this game is that they were running and they were having some success here and there. But at the end of the day, Colorado was able to neutralize them in so many ways. Both teams played. This was a defensive game all across the board between Nebraska and Colorado, no doubt about it. But Colorado came through victoriously because why? Turnovers. What you have with this Nebraska team is that they have a lot of problems with turning the ball over, just like they did against Minnesota just a week ago in week 1 of their season, okay? And Colorado was able to capitalize on that. And I had said in my pre-video to this game that I dropped just Friday that I think they had to rattle the quarterback for Nebraska. They had to get up in his face and make him make mistakes because he had already admitted just a week ago that he didn't make the best decisions. Now, people are wondering, why is it that he was having so much problems with his snap? And the same thing happened against Minnesota, and Colorado was able to capitalize on that once again with making plays. You got my man Jordan here on the defensive line, who came out, showed up, and did the right thing. Now, remember, Jordan is a brother who originally arrived to us by what? He played at Arkansas, transferred to Colorado. There he is right there in a press conference. Here he is in practice right there. And here he is in the game doing the right damn thing. And he got out. He made a key interception there when not interception, but he got a loose ball, a free ball. That's a turnover by the quarterback, Jeff Sims. And I just think that was key right there, which is why I have that on the screen, that was one of the key turnovers that turned around the game and gave momentum back to Colorado. Momentum was swinging back and forth, but Colorado just kept getting the turnovers. And this young man right here, he's got a lot of problems with the way he handles the football, and not the same quarterback as Shedeur. When Shedeur is really cool under pressure, makes good decisions. He made a few mistakes here and there, but guess what, ladies and gentlemen? On his stat sheet, he didn't throw for any interceptions this week, right? No turnovers of the ball, handles the ball well. People were talking about Colorado's offensive line, yet there was no problem with the offensive line. How many times did you see the offensive line be offensive delay? You didn't see bad snaps between Shedeur and his center like you saw between Nebraska. So it shows me that even with some of the penalties and mistakes that were made today, more penalties than were last week, it shows us that this team is resilient, and there's still areas on this team that they said was going to be weak that is still strong. They may bend here and there, but they're not breaking. And Deion Sanders is showing us why he is a leader, why his father, the team, believes in him. They're coming, and they're coming right now, ladies and gentlemen. This is what it's all about. Great matchup between Matt Ruse and Coach Prime. Coach Prime once again gets the last laugh on the media. Those media members out there who said they would lose this game in Nebraska. You got Mad Dog, a Mad Dog radio, a Sirius XM radio that was on First Takes on ESPN, talking a lot of bullshit about how he couldn't wait to see them lose in Nebraska. Well, guess what? Coach Prime has the last laugh on your behind, because they did not lose this game. They won this game under tight situations. Defense stood up, and that's how you win really great football games. In this instance, let me go right here and let you see, for example, video to prove out what I'm talking about. Now, let me pull up here. Give me a minute, folks. This was a battle of the minds in this football game. And sometimes, it takes great minds like Deion Sanders, the coaching staff of Colorado, and Coach Prime to overcome adversity. Here is a clip from the football game today. check this out. This is also, before I start this, I have to do this because it's very important. Warning, federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyright motion picture, videos, tapes, or videos, discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use, and is allowed for the purpose of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which does not infringe the copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. So let's get at it right now. This is fair use, everybody. This is fair use. Fantastic. Give him a clap. That was fantastic. I mean, Weaver was excellent today. Let's go into his numbers. I think he had 10 receptions for 170 or 71 yards, 1 TD. He was fantastic. He was all over the place. What it showed you is that even though Travis Hunter didn't have a day that jumped off the page like a week ago, right? Everybody was excited about what our man Travis did just a week ago, right? Travis had, 119 yards, right? Reception, an interception. He was all over the place, right? But it shows you that this team is built to win because there's other guys that can step up. If one man is not playing his best, then another man, what you saw is another man steps up. They have I think they have one of the best receiving corps in the country. So when one man is, if it ain't Jimmy Horn, then it's Weaver. If it ain't Weaver, then it's Dotson, who opened the game and got us our first score, right? If it isn't those guys, then it's a Travis Hunter, right? If it isn't Dylan Edward doing what he did a week ago against TCU, then it could be someone else that steps up in the game, such as the defense, where you have someone like a Jordan Dominique who gets out there and gets what? A turnover. Now, defensively, I want to say the name correctly because people were saying, hey, trying to correct me about this. Miles Slusher, who is their starting safety, he wasn't able to play in this game because Coach Prime said he got banged up against TCU in that game. Well, we've got another man, brother Cameron Craig, who stepped up and got an interception. Remember? Cameron Craig, number 7 safety, he got a key turnover interception in this game. And look, for those of you out there who think that people who come from, what do we call it, come from HBCU football, that they can't play at this level, this man, Craig, played at Jackson State. Here we go right here at Jackson State.
Information is power.
He played at Jackson State, transferred over to play with Coach Prime in Colorado. So you've got an HBCU product and lots of products on this team. This game, this season, this team is proving to us all that guys in the HBCU level of football and the SWAC and what have you, some of these guys can play in Power 5 football. This guy came over, made a key interception in this game that we need to recognize. I'm going to put him back up here again. That's Craig. Cameron Craig, who did the damn deed today. Let's give him a clap. Once again, Shedeur. I'm going to go to Shedeur real quick. Shedeur showed a lot of poise. I'm going to put this up here. He showed a lot of poise in the pocket. He was under some pressure today. He had to make a lot of decisions under pressure. I noticed, I said to myself, can Shedeur move him? Is he mobile enough to move around? If you notice, as they were putting pressure, because Nebraska's defense was playing really good defense, I got to be honest, and he even admitted in his press conference, the fact that Shedeur was able to move around that defensive pressure and still get the ball out to players under pressure, under duress, shows you what type of quarterback he was. And if you notice, when he was running around and he would set himself to pass, he would set himself correctly, get his feet in the right position, which is why he's not throwing interceptions even under duress in this game when he had to get rid of the ball. At some cases he didn't get the ball, throw the ball when he actually wanted to throw the ball because of the pressure. And then when he did throw the ball under pressure, he made really good throws. So we got to give him a lot of credit. as he is Heisman bound, 393 yards throwing the ball, 2 TDs, 1 rushing TD by Shedeur Sanders. He went 31 for 42 in this game, y'all. He did the damn thing. He was it. He was it. Let's go ahead and hear a little bit of what he had to say. Don't sleep on these players. Colorado's got some players on this team, and every week somebody different is going to step up on this football team. No questions about it. Let's hear what Shedeur had to say after this this battle. Let's go right ahead and hear him. This is fair use, fair use.
Defense stepped up. Offense was really slacking, but it was a good defense we played though. I like the scheme. I like the scheme of them. It made it tough on us, but I'm just happy I was able to face it. So next time, going against it, I'll be good.
Shedeur, Mick Miller, Fox 31. First part, 2-part question. 1, how would you rate your Coach Prime shuffle or your primetime shuffle after you scored that rushing touchdown? And 2, you guys the school set a record with over 53,000 people in attendance. That's the largest crowd in 15
crazy.
years. What does it mean? What was it like to play in front of this crowd?
It felt like it was at the spring game again. So yeah, it was a little red. You see, I seen a picture when the stands was full of red a couple years ago. I don't know when that was, but I seen that. This year looked totally different. So our fans came out support. And the dance, you know, it's in my blood, so I give it 10 out of 10. I really think I did better than him, honestly.
Shedeur, Kyle Newman from the Denver Post. Obviously, offense made a statement last week. What kind of statement do you think you and the offense made this week in the home opener?
Statement to who? You talking about to the people or to ourselves?
To the people, to the critics, what?
Well, the critics, they gonna hate regardless. They found a way to hate on us last week, and we was throwing it last week.
Tell the truth.
So this week, of course, they
Tell
gonna
the
hate,
truth.
but we're not really too concerned about that. We understand where we got to grow and get better at. So I'm excited that we went through this and we was able just to stick together and find a way to put up points on the board, but it's unacceptable. We can't do that again, though, and put that much pressure on the defense. So it was like the offense didn't show up as early as the defense did. So good football, though. They had our backs. It's the brothers right there.
Hey, Sean, real quick, sorry. This is Xavier Weaver, 10 catches, 170 yards. Taj Austin, 1.5 sacks. Sorry, y'all. Go ahead, Sean.
Shedeur, Sean Keeler, the Denver Post. You talked about last week leaving plays on the field, and you mentioned some things you want to clean up. How many did you leave on this one? What grade do you give the offense relative to what it could be?
What grade you get the offense?
We ain't do what we're supposed to do. You feel me? I can't even grade us.
Yeah, no, it was real bad today. I ain't gonna lie. It was bad. A lot of mental errors, a lot of misreads, misthrows. I missed him on one dig. But we just got to be able to just start faster and be able to just lock in quicker.
Tell the truth.
Whether that's mentally, understand that going into practice and get everybody together and round them up and tell them, you know, what time it is and we got to – but at least we didn't do one thing this week, though. We didn't have delay game coming off sideline. We worked on that in practice. So it was a little faster. But the tempo of the offense, it wasn't as how it's supposed to be. But I'm happy that it's good and bad.
All right. There it is. Shedeur right there with Xavier Weaver, who was the outstanding player at receiver in this game. This fantastic. You're going to hear a little bit from him in just a moment, folks. I want to go over to someone that needs to be spoken upon, and that is Dotson. Now, Dotson is the young man who transferred over from Auburn. So he played in SEC football. So this is why the naysayers don't know what they're talking about. There's some guys on this team that have played in big-time football, a mixture of HBCU guys mixed in with guys that have played in various conferences around this country, and they have guys on this team who actually have big-time play experience, like Dotson. Dotson is the one who opened the floodgates to them getting on the scoreboard and getting some momentum going. Remember, right here, take a look at Dotson right here as he gets he's number 6, and he got the touchdown and really got the crowd fired up. And that's what you need, because it got the team fired up, and eventually as things started kind of slowly where there was no score, eventually Colorado was able to get it together and get that rhythm that they had last week and start really making some things happen. So that's Dotson. Here are some reminders. And I want to say shout out to Big Dog Chico out there because he does a great job of covering football. And I want to say shout out to Life in Football as well. Dave's Talk Buffs as well. They're doing great jobs out there. But here's a picture of Dotson right here at Auburn in their training camp. The young man has some skills, and we got to give him a lot of respect for making that first touchdown when it seemed like, wait a minute, when are they going to score? And then he broke out as a receiver. Once again, he's played big-time SEC football. So we got to give him a lot of respect, everybody. Now, let's go over to another player. Once again, I did talk about Jordan, what he meant to the defense today out there. Coming out of Arkansas, he transferred over and was a big standout today, okay, in that defensive front that has been criticized by the critics, but they stepped up today, okay? Once again, Xavier Weaver. What else can I say about this young man? I'm going to say it again. 170 yards receiving, 1 TD, 10 receptions. He made the plays that were necessary when Shador really needed someone to step up in that receiving core, and he made big plays down the stretch. And this is another young man that transferred over. As a reminder, remember, he transferred over. Xavier Weaver committed to Colorado, where originally he played, let me take this off the screen, he played his football at South Florida, where he was a standout at South Florida, and he left South Florida. Now he's bringing those skills, or has brought those skills, to Colorado. Fantastic. I want to say peace to everybody in the chat room who's watching. I appreciate that. Peggy Roster, one of my mods. Alicia, one of my mods, folks that I've known for quite some time. And so definitely trust them as mods in this chat room today. We got Miss T. We got a lot of great people in the chat room, and I want to say to everybody in the chat room that's listening, thank you for being here. We can't do this without you, your support. We cannot do this without your support, and I really appreciate you. So there's another photo of Xavier Weaver. Here he is at one of the press conferences back at Colorado, doing their training camp, doing their practicing and what have you. The young man, I think, is blessed with a lot of skills, a lot of greatness. And what I want to do is I want to go ahead and put him on the board, let you hear what he had to say when he was asked questions at the press conference today. Really respect what he did today, because once again, these teams around the country are going to think that Colorado's a one-trick pony, meaning all they have is Travis Hunter. And Travis Hunter is a dog. He is a great player. But what this did to everyone watching today, critics and those other teams watching and coaches, is that Colorado showed that they have versatility on this football team, that they have other players that you need to watch out for. You need to watch and be aware that if one guy isn't having a stellar game as we're expecting him to have, then another guy is going to be, it's going to be the next man that steps up. But let's go ahead and hear what he had to say when he was asked questions at the press conference. This is Xavier Weaver. He was fantastic today.
Sports Radio is the final word. My question is for Xavier. Hey, another 10-catch day. You're making a big name for yourself. And can you talk a little bit about the receiving corp? And I thought Shador's would be a little humble with 390 yards passing. I think you're doing pretty well if you can call that a bad day.
Now, I say, we got higher standards. He set a standard for 500, almost 600 yards. So at 300 ain't none to him. But our receiver core is great. It's hard to stop all of us. We got too many weapons on the field at once. So it's hard for the team to play man. If they want to play man, it's over with, so they got to drop 8. So we see.
I just wanted to say that you hear what he said. He said we have so many talented players on our offense. If they want to drop, play zone, play man-to-man, if they play man-to-man, they're in a lot of trouble. This is a confident Colorado football team, a confident player. Let's hear what he said. Let's hear that again.
Our receiver core is great. You know, it's hard to stop all of us. We got too many weapons on the field at once. So
Too many
it's
weapons.
hard for the team to play man. If they want to play man, it's over with. You know, so they got to drop 8. So we practice this.
You've got to drop 8, he said. I think this is interesting. You got to drop 8. Once again, this is putting all other teams on notice. So it's just like Shedeur said when he was asked last week, well, what do you think about teams having tape or video on you? He says, we dictate, we make teams, we dictate the terms of how teams have to play us. We don't let other teams dictate what we do. Let's get back to Xavier Weaver. That's what Shedeur said a week ago.
All weekend, we just had to get a feel of it and get rolling. And once it started rolling, we ain't stopped.
Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate you all in the chat room.
What is it like having Shedeur as your QB, and how is he able to just get so many guys involved every game?
Welcome, Patricia, to the mod
If he don't like a certain
group.
look, or if he don't like the certain way you ran something, he gonna come tell you. Stop the whole practice and come tell you. So it's really just the connection we build in such a short amount of time. And it's getting better. Like I can say, it's getting better, and we still got multiple games left. It's only gonna keep growing.
As he said, it's only going to keep growing. They still have so many games to play, so much to prove, so many games where guys are going to break out. This team, and the more they keep playing, they're gaining more confidence in what they can do. Shedeur gained confidence in what he can do today, what he witnessed on the field, and how teams are going to try to defend him. I guarantee you that when the other teams look at this particular video today, they're going to try to emulate what Nebraska did to give him some problems. But what happened is that Shedeur, like any great quarterback, it's how you deal with the problems and the adversity, and when things are breaking down and not working as planned, how do you adapt? Shedeur was able to adapt to a situation that became, for the most part, they try to put pressure on him. And you always know what a player really is deep down inside based on how they deal with pressure. And you know pressure can bust pipes. So I think Shedeur has proven to the naysayers out there that he can play well under having a clean pocket where no one's touching him. And he can do some great things with people coming at him and putting pressure on him and giving him some adversity, because he put up 394 yards, 2 TDs, and he got a touchdown himself. I want to repeat that because this is a young man who played in HBCU. There are many guys on this team that played at Jackson State that transferred over, a few of them anyway, and people think that they can't play at the Power 5 level when Shedeur told you a week ago that we've been doing this. We did this last year. Travis Hunter played both ways last year. What are y'all talking about? So I want to see what the haters and the critics are going to say in mainstream media, because I know someone's still going to jump out the box and have something to say. Now, another thing, a side note, everybody, I'm going to be doing a separate video to address this Jason Woodlock stuff. This, oh my God, he is such a liar. There's video out there where he claims that he had supported Coach Prime, and he didn't like Coach Prime bringing up racial stuff last week and acting like he had Coach Prime's back until he said that. But then there's video showing that Jason Woodlock already had said from the very beginning that he wasn't supporting Prime, that he had cheesy things to say about Prime and the whole situation at Colorado. I'm going to be doing a separate video to address that fool for y'all, everybody. What y'all think about that? If y'all think about that. Okay, and if you're getting something from this video today, this put a 7, put those 7s.
Information is power.
Information is power. Put that 7 in the chat room, folks. Put that 7 in the chat room. Thank you. Now, Coach Prime, as proudful of a man as he is, I think as a coach, he learned a lot about his team today. And let's go ahead and hear what he had to say in his press conference. This is fair use again, for the purpose of educating, parity, critical analysis, and what have you. This is fair use Here we go, folks.
Great win, started off slow, played like hot garbage in the first half. Probably 5 minutes left in the first half. We started picking it up quite a bit and doing what we're capable of doing. Hats off to the defense and how they were steadfast today. They atoned for the disappointment that we were last week defensively. We still gave up a few plays, but overall, I think we forced three turnovers, interception, I think 2 fumbles, so 3 turnovers, and we didn't give up explosion to the end. So I'm really proud of the defense. Special teams stepped it up. We didn't have nothing crazy that transpired, and Jace Philly is who he is. He's unbelievable. I'm kicking the ball in. He kicked off in the end zone, and we punted the ball really well too. I think we got a couple inside the 10 as well. Coaches did a great job. They called a great game. Some things that they're calling, we're just not doing what we're capable of doing, and they get the blame for it. But the kid is just in the wrong gap or not feeling like he's supposed to, or not blocking, or running the wrong route. So overall, it was a win. To just think that we played like we played and we won by that margin, that's a pretty good feeling for any coach. And I think for you all to see what we're capable of doing. I keep saying more and more young men as well as coaches are believing. I think we're up to probably 80% now of young men in that locker room as well as staff and support staff truly believing what we're capable of doing. It's not believing in me, it's believing in what we're capable of doing. That was the question I posed to the gentleman last week. It wasn't about me, it was about the young men and what we possess. Let's go.
Ariel Orsuto, 9 News. After last week's win, the talk was just about truly believing and really kind of the us against the world mentality.
Right.
After this week's win, it was a very different type of win, more decisive type of win. What is the mentality this week?
We didn't just want to win, we wanted to dominate. In the first half, we weren't dominant. In the second half, we got it together and we began to dominate, but we wanted to really impose our will because the whole theme of the week was it's personal. One of the funniest moments in the darn game after Shedeur took his helmet off after he made the tremendous scramble. It was like a Heisman type play. And I went over and said, you cannot do that. You cannot take your helmet off. He said, Dad, it's personal. And I just laughed. I just bent over and laughed.
That's exactly what I was talking about, folks, that Shedeur told his father, Coach Prime, that, Dad, it's personal. And that kind of neutralized the whole discipline that he was trying to put upon him at that time about, you can't do certain things in a game. And we talk about helmet. That's the helmet right there that he took off. Everything was fantastic. I was a little concerned about some of the penalties that were happening in this game because I don't want, and I'm sure Coach Prime, of course, doesn't want this football team to get into the habit of having a lot of penalties because last week they had 6, and this week I think they surpassed that. So it was a really, really rough game in the beginning, but they made the necessary adjustments. And let's hear Coach Prime once more.
My butt off because it was in a moment and I was really upset, and he broke the monotony up with his personal. So they really took it to heart. That whole theme of
Thank you all for being here today, too.
Yes,
I
sir.
appreciate everybody in the chat room.
Hey, Coach McMillan, Fox 31.
How you doing, man? You been better?
I'm doing a little bit better.
Amen.
When we met with you in the spring and we first asked you about Shedeur, you told us that growing up his nickname was Grown.
Yeah.
We just met with him and he said when Nebraska came out, Matt Rule and the team, they had a meeting, on the Buffalo, and he went in there and disrupted, and he said, he talked about my pops and I took that personally.
That's right.
In the second half, he leads your offense after a slow start.
Yeah, they do have to step up. I read some of your statements in there. Yeah, they do have to step up and not make these, because these kind of mistakes that they made today will not, if they're playing an even better team like a USC, for example, or Oregon, those type of mistakes you can't really get away with those type of teams. So I'm sure Coach Prime is going to clean. Yeah, Jason Woodlock is a clown. He's a straight clown. And I'm gonna address him in a short video for you guys. Yeah, against USC, Utah, they are a different animal, one of a kind. They are a different animal, and these kind of mistakes they're going to have to clean up because they won't be able to get away with some of this stuff. Some of the mistakes, let me be respectful here. Some of the mistakes that were made, they will not be able to make do against better teams. So they're going to have to clean these things up as they get to those better teams on their schedule, more powerful teams on their schedule. Okay, I believe 12-0 season, Colorado University 2023 NCAA National Championship winner. We're going to consistently do what we do now. Hey, I believe in anything is possible. I believe that they can win, but they're going to have to clean up some of the stuff that they did today against those better teams, and hopefully this game today will be a lesson for them to clean up what happened against other teams. What's going on, Street TV? Piece information. Hey, what's going on, brother? Brother George, I see you, Street Media TV. Make sure y'all check out Street Media TV. That's a good brother right there. And thank you for coming over to the sports channel today, Brother George. I hope everything is doing well. Also, check out he has an organization called Urban Nerds Worldwide. He works with youth, teaching them education, STEM, science, getting youth out of urban environments and letting them see other parts of the world, letting them see possibilities to be the best that they can, because we think that being a nerd and being educated, being learned is cool. That's the way to go. It's a nonprofit that he has. He has beautiful merch. If you buy merch from his website, it's Urban Nerds Worldwide is the name that you can put in the search engine to find his website and give him support. He's a great brother. He's about the community. That's for sure. That's Street Media TV. Good to see you here, brother. So let's get back to the rest of what Coach Prime was saying here as we get close to concluding today. Let's hear the rest of this.
As a father and as a coach, how proud are you when you watch these moments where he takes leadership upon himself and represents not only the program but also your family in these moments? And also, how would you rate his
one at a
primetime
time. I'm
shuffle?
56 years old. I can't. One at a time, man. One at a time. Give me one question at a time. I can't remember all this stuff. As a father, I'm really proud of him. I'm proud of Shiloh as well, as Junior as well, doing what he does for social media. He's very mature. He's always been very mature, very astute. He studies his butt off, and he's prepared. I'm not happy that we surrendered 7 sacks, I believe, today. But once we got it going and he got his rhythm, he performed greatly. But to take the onus on himself when someone talks about me, that's how he grew up. If someone talked about my kids, I handled it. That's the expectation of a father, not a baby daddy. A father. I'm a real father, and I take pride.
Boom. I have to say, I got to give him a clap there. This is very key what Coach Prime said there. He said, I'm a father, not a it's not a baby mama thing with him. This is very important that he emphasized that, because so often people characterize or think that black men don't take care of their kids and that we're not real fathers. I'm glad that he emphasized that he ain't no baby, no daddy baby, that this is a father. And a father, as you know, is someone that any man can impregnate a woman and have kids, but it takes a real man to raise those kids. And that is what Coach Prime has done. So I'm very happy that he emphasized that in particular, especially when it comes to the black community. And that's something that we need to see more of. Black men like Coach Prime step up as fathers, and he has done that. But I like the fact that he emphasized that. And that is a very important point. That point he made isn't about football, but it's about life. And let's get back to Coach Prime right now. I love what he said right there, folks.
And I try to teach my sons the same. But overall, as a coach and as a father, I'm truly proud of all 3 of my sons and what they contributed on a daily basis. Yes, sir. Just talk, man. I hear you.
Just your thoughts on seeing the scene out there, both before
Beautiful.
the game, during, and then afterwards.
Beautiful. A lot of this stuff is new to me. You got to understand. So I know I've been to the highest level in World Series as well as Super Bowls, but in the coaching aspect, in Power Fives, just to see, I think it was a sellout last week. I think the most broken attendance record, I believe, for TCU, and what we accomplished today. And to see that many people that came to see us perform, it was tremendous. Not just the number, but the energy and the love and the expectation. I love that. I really did. I'm driving over to the set for the big noon kickoff. It was phenomenal. Just feeling the energy of the student body as well as the fan base here was unbelievable. That was my first time. We didn't get to really feel it in the spring because it was snow. I didn't want to go out there, and it was cold. So, I didn't really get to feel it.
What's up, everybody? Once again, Coach Prime, I got to say, definitely a man's man, made very good points there. I like how he emphasized the issue about I am a real father who's in the life of my kids, and that's how he's going to teach his kids, Shedeur, Sanders Jr., as well as Shallow. I think that's the missing ingredient that separates him from other coaches in the country, that it's not just only about football, but it's about character, it's about purpose, it's about handling yourself in a proper manner, a mindset of a winner. And I think that's very important. And that's why I got to say that I think it's fantastic that what he's done at Colorado, what he did at Jackson State was incredible as well. Coach Prime has a great track record. Now, today they said that there were tons of recruits that were there today that, he put an impression on them, and we'll see how this whole thing turns out going forward. They've got Colorado State next week. Looks like game day is going to be there, they said. I think they're going to be, like I said a week ago, they'll be a 3-0 team when they play against Oregon. I think they'll wipe up the floor with Colorado State. Colorado State is in no level on the same level of football level as both Nebraska or TCU, both teams that they beat. So I think that going against Oregon, they will be a 3-0 team, and that's when you're going to see a lot of what this team is made of when they start playing against the Oregons, the USCs, the Utahs, the Washingtons, these teams that can really stack up, okay? So that's what they got to prepare for positively and with the right mindset. I want to say here that Coach Prime has done the damn thing again. He matched up very well against Matt Rule, won the game. And I had said before in the other video that I did that I think that they had to rattle Jeff Sims. Jeff Sims has some problems with the snap, a lot of turnovers today, just like what he did against Minnesota. So there is some issues here, and Colorado was able to exploit those type of issues. I want to say about the offensive line and defensive line. The offensive line stood up today. They did give up 7 sacks for Shedeur, but a lot of that was because Shedeur was scrambling around, was moving around and trying to make something out of nothing, and then that eventually he got, brought down a few times here and there. But for the most part, he didn't throw an interception. He didn't get banged up or anything like that. Thank God for that. And I think that the defensive line on the other side of that picture that you see there that's dressed in black, they did a good job because they were a unit that was criticized by national media because, remember, a week ago, TCU was able to run the ball pretty well up the middle, and Nebraska tried the same thing. Nebraska had some success here and there, okay, with running the ball. And I'm going to say this again. They had a little success here and there, but Colorado still was able to control the game. I also want to say this to you all. T.O. was in the house. We know that Michael Irvin was in the house at the game today, as well as T.O., who's down there in Colorado supporting the team. We know T.O., professional football player, ex-professional football player, as well as Michael Irvin. We know their story. But one of the things, when I look at the statistics, the data, okay, on the rushing, and this is where they're going to have to try to make the improvements. Dylan Edwards had 9 carries for 56 yards today. Okay. Anthony Hankerson had 6 carries for 25 yards. Okay. And I just think that they got to get their running game going. When you look at Nebraska's rushing game, okay, one of their running backs, Irvin Jr., had 74 yards. Okay, Jeff Sims, of course, is a running quarterback. He had 67 yards and a touchdown today. Johnson had 66 yards. That's one of their backs. So their backs had a better day than our running backs in terms of statistical data. But I got to say this, that I think that we need to run the ball just a little bit more. Definitely exploit the passing game because we've got the dogs in the receiving core, okay? But I really think as they get ready to play the Oregons, the USCs, the Utahs, the Washingtons, those deeper teams in the Pac-12 conference, okay, when you talk about the Pac-12 conference, they really need to shore up the running game because the running game will take a lot of pressure off of Shedeur, and it also will decrease him getting sacked, decrease the opportunity for him to get hurt as well. And it will also open up the passing game in this Pac-12 conference for Shedeur in Colorado because a lot of teams won't be able to see them as one-dimensional, and they're going to have to worry about the run, which will open up the passing game as well. Both of them go hand in hand. What do you think about what I just said? If you think my analysis makes sense, put a 7 in the chat room because I really appreciate all of you out there that are watching. I just want to know what y'all think about that. You know, hit that 7 in there. Those 7s are glorious. They're perfect numbers. Definitely subscribe to the channel if you are new to this channel, new to what I'm doing over here in terms of how I'm doing the this type of content. There's a lot of content creators out there doing this content, but I'm giving you my flavor, my style. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you for definitely, as they always say, thank you for watching today. I want to say like and comment on this video, subscribe to this channel because we're trying to do the damn thing over here and give you high quality live streams just like this. This is a post game live stream, and I hope you are enjoying it so far as we get to conclusion. Once again, they had a great game last week, but you got to take it one game at a time, 1 week at a time, one practice at a time, one strategy at a time, and I think they're going to be just fine. I think Coach Prime has done a great job with this team. They're definitely going to get in the laboratory and fix whatever the problems were that they had today. But I have to tell you, folks, I'm definitely proud of what they're doing so far because there was a lot of doubters, a lot of haters out there, right? A lot of people doubting Coach Prime and what he could do, doubting this football team and what this football team was capable of. And they're showing you that they're capable of a lot of great things in this football team. And we just can't underestimate them at all, folks. So with that said, everybody, I'm going to end the live stream. Appreciate you all being here today. Make sure you share this video on all your social media. If you're a content creator, drop it in your community tab. I'll be back with more video. I'm going to have to do a video to address the Jason Whitlock by name. I'm going to address the Jason Whitlock and his lies, his deceit. And it shows you that he has no credibility, which is why I don't think anybody should be watching his channel, should be supporting what he does over there, because he tells a lot of lies and he definitely buck dances around. I got to be honest with you, folks. He buck dances around.
Tell the truth.
And this man right here you see on the screen, great things are in the making. I think we haven't seen the best of him yet, obviously, early season. And I think there's great things to come that's going to blow us away. And check this out. Never fear. Travis Hunter is here. He didn't have a stellar game today, as there were other standouts, such as my man Weaver, right? And Dotson made a big touchdown to open things up, right? Dotson, right? And of course, Jordan got a big turnover that Sims coughed up, right? This is fantastic stuff. So keep this in mind. Travis Hunter is going to go in the film room. He's going to look at what he did wrong, what he did right. I suspect that he's going to have a big game against Colorado State next week. He's going to let you know that he's also in Heisman contention, as well as, I have to say, Shedeur as well, everybody.
Information is power.
So with that said, y'all take care. I'll be back. Love you all. Thank you in the chat room. Hit those 7s in the chat room. Put those 7s in the chat room, folks, as we get ready to get out of here. Everybody say that you believe. I believe. You should believe. Everybody should believe. Colorado is not just coming. They are here.
Tell the truth.
So I appreciate you again. Everybody in the chat room, much love and respect to you. Thank you for coming over. I see we got Miss T, Patricia, one of our mods, Peggy Roster. A lot of great folks in the chat room. Everybody is saying that they believe. I appreciate you. Make sure you share this video. If you want to help this channel, folks, make sure that you share this video in your Facebook, your Twitter, all your social media as possible, so that more people can enjoy this type of content and definitely discover my channel. Make sure you check out my Facebook page. It's under the same name, Prime Sports Media. I've got about 31,000 people following me on the Facebook page. I might start dropping live content on the Facebook page separate from the YouTube channel as well. I might start dropping some visual. I drop all type of content over there, but I'm saying I might start broadcasting into the Facebook page when I go live next week. But I got 31,000 following me over there, and this channel's at 16,000. We're going to keep growing, growing, and growing with your help, with your support. Appreciate you all. Let's get ready, everybody, to get ready to get on out of here. Take care. Peace. Peace. God take care. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go.